there, welcome to Chow Time. I am Spike Spencer, your chefy host with the most. And today we're going to do something, I guess we'd say, hailing from the fabulous country of Peru. Why would I say that? Well, we're going to be working with quinoa. This is quinoa is the one that it looks really weird to spell it. It's Q-U-I-N-O-A, quinoa. Or as some people would call it, quinoa? Is it quinoa? Is that like a grain or something? I don't really... Yeah, it's quinoa. It's a grain. It's a Peruvian super grain. Now, I don't know if I'd call it super grain because so many of the things that we're hearing are super. Then you find out, maybe they're not that good for you, whatever. Well, here's my take on all of that. Screw it, lade. I don't care. It's food. I'll eat it. I'll eat all this super wonderful. I'll eat some kale. Sure, I'm not going to live on kale. I'll eat some quinoa, super stuff. Yay, great. I'll eat some McDonald's. And that is crap. I like it sometimes, every now and then. Moderation, people. Moderation is the key. I like to eat organic as best I can. Do the best you can. But let's not get to that point where you go, well, if it's not organic, it's going to kill me. No, it's not going to kill you. You just kind of, do the best you can, take your vitamins, eat some super grains, have some fun. Okay, let's do it. So the first thing you're going to need is quinoa, quinoa. I've already made some quinoa here. Of course, I dated it and signed all this stuff. So I've made quinoa. Now, let me tell you about quinoa, real simple. I'm not going to show you how to make the quinoa because it is super simple. If you make rice, you make quinoa. It's exactly the same. 1 cup of quinoa, 2 cups of rice. Put them together, bring it to a boil, cover it, turn it down to a simmer, 15 minutes, take it off, leave the cover on, and let it do its thing. Stir it up and see how it is. If it's a little too wet, put it on a little longer. It's pretty foolproof. It's really, really easy to work with. So let's take some quinoa. Here we go. We're going to put some quinoa in a bowl. Step 1. Quinoa in bowl. Baking bowl? Baking bowl. Oh, yes, baking bowl. You know what? I'm going to do all the quinoa. So this is leftover quinoa. A couple of things. Whenever I'm doing quinoa, I will usually flavor it when I'm cooking it. I'll flavor it with some broth. So instead of just water, I'll cook it in some broth. And that just gives an extra flavor to it. So quinoa. So you can put anything you want in this salad. There's nothing really you need to do except for one thing that I forgot, which is lemon. All right. You could use lime too if you wanted to. Doesn't really matter. Let's cut some things up and throw it in a bowl. Shall we? Let's do that. I have some onion here that I have left over. I always save all my onions in a bag because, boy, will that stink up a fridge. So let's chop a little bit of onion real quick. It can be any way you want to chop it. I just, nice little dice, especially if my kids don't like onion that much. I sneak it into everything. I think onion is absolutely fantastic. I think that's why my first wife and I didn't get along at the end. She don't like onion. Yeah, that's the problem. That will wreck my little bliss. All right, we got onions. A little bit of onion in there. Now, also, you could do some purple onions or regular onions. It's really up to you, whatever kind of onion you want to do. I like the purple onions. They have a little sweetness to it. Also have some green onions. I'm going to throw some green onions in there at the end. I've got some parsley. Parsley is great. This salad is going to be very reminiscent of like tabbouleh. Tabbouleh is a wheat, what's it called? A bulgur wheat, I think it is. It's been a while. Yeah. Somebody check up on that for me, would you? There's nobody. All right. There's my parsley. Tabbouleh, it's funny, I remember tabbouleh, gosh, when I was a kid, we went to some restaurant and had tabbouleh, and I thought it was funny because it's a funny name. I don't know. I think it's African, I believe. I could be talking out of my ass, but, we're going to go with that. So let's put in some carrots. So we put in onion, celery, carrots. You could be calling that your mirepoix, of course. I could always cut this stuff beforehand, but I like chatting with you guys and cutting, because when I do this thing when I do my dishes, I'm doing them like you would at home. You know, this is one of the reasons why I like to cook the way I do, is to show you that it can be done quickly. I would say, you know, once you work on some cutting skills, and I'll probably do a show just on the cutting skills. Look at that. Because the faster you can cut, obviously, the faster you can get your food on the table for your family. I'm a dad. I'm about to be the dad of 3. How about that? And I also cook for my wife and my mother-in-law. So we all live here. And so I've got to get a lot of food out at least twice a day. I do breakfast, which I'm going to do a breakfast show because breakfast is interesting. I may do a breakfast book someday because breakfast is the one dish, if you think about it, people will have the same exact breakfast every day. My kids love blueberries, toast, and eggs. Sometimes the eggs will vary. Sometimes we'll do banana bread. I got a great recipe for banana bread. Go watch that video. I will probably, now that I have mentioned that, if I can remember that, whenever I am doing this video, this will be at the end, and it will say, hey, go watch the banana bread video. How about that? But, yeah, we'll switch to banana bread, or maybe even possibly like oatmeal or something, which oatmeal is pretty much nothing. But you know what? Again, like I said, everything in moderation, as you do. And see, just chop, 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 chop stuff up and throw it in the bowl. And think about your flavor combinations here. Quinoa is a pretty solid base. There's not a lot of flavor there. It's a lovely grain for just about, you know, any dish. But for this light dish, I'm thinking more along the lines of, like I said, tabbouleh. So we're going to think about some lighter flavors and seasonings with that nice hit of lemon at the end. You could, I've told this many times, cucumbers, sometimes this will get very, very bitter. So whenever you're doing cucumbers, take a bite of that first and go, that's pretty tasty. I like this more for presentation as well, and I give those to my chickens. And let me start trying. There we go. No cucumber action. So this is a light, easy dish. Now remember, like I said, this dish is something you can do the quinoa a day ahead, 2 days, whatever. I'm big on repurposing leftovers. I will do some of my recipes are because I have leftovers, and I'll do that. This is a real kitchen. I have a real family, and I really do cook stuff that you can cook fairly simply without a whole bunch of machinery. Every now and then I'll throw in a blender, or of course my favorite, you guys know what it is, the baby boat motor. It's so cute. I love it. Now, so I've got some nice textures here. We've got cucumber, onion, celery, carrot. From this point, I'm going to move on to something that has a little different mouthfeel, which I like. Garbanzo beans, or chickpeas, as it were. Now, the one thing that I did not plan on is how to get the chickpeas out of here, because I don't have a sink near me. And here's a fun little fact. This juice in this can here is called, I don't know if it's called aquafaba. You can make stuff out of this. I haven't done that yet, to be honest with you. I've seen it done, and they made like this frothy foam and flavored it and did some stuff, and I'm like, well, that sounds fun. I would try that, but not right now. So let's take some garbanzo beans or chickpeas. If you want a lot, go for it. This is, I'm going to go ahead and do all of it because it's good. It's good, healthy filler. I did another great show on hummus, how to make some hummus with this. I think that's pretty much it, except for the lemon juice. Let's get a little bit of that in there. I love this little squeezer dude. There we go. You can throw this. This is perfect for garden party or garden party. I'm not the Barefoot Contessa. I'm not Martha Stewart. And I haven't thrown a garden party in a very long time. So, and for me, a garden party consists of a barbecue, usually, and a beer. So that's kind of the way it works out. Or a grill out, that kind of thing. Now we think about the spices. You can go anywhere with your spices that you want. I'm going to keep it simple. I love garlic, a little garlic powder. Obviously salt. A little salt in there, a little more salt in there. A little pepper. And I've shown you this pepper grinder before. Oh my gosh, I love this pepper grinder so much. I'm going to have to talk to them and say, hey, you want me to put your pepper grinder out there and tell everybody about it? Okay. I have some Eau de Provence. Very nice. You can go with any kind of herbs you want. Take it over into the oregano side, Mediterranean if you want, which I'm going to not do right now. I'm going to stay with the Eau de Provence and some tarragon. There you go. And what I'm doing here with the herbs is when you have dry herbs like this, you want to make sure you crunch them up with your hand as you put them in. That releases a little bit of essential oil that's there. There's not much oil there. It's not like oily or anything, but it just pops that flavor. Smell like tarragon and lemon. God, that's fantastic. Olive oil. Hit it with some good olive oil. I am actually kind of playing with my olive oils. This is Tunisian olive oil. The problem we have with olive oils is in Italy, a lot of olive oils are counterfeit. So you have to check on your olive oil and make sure that it's good. And there are different organizations that test for that, but then it's like anything else these days. Do you trust them or not? So you've got to kind of do a little bit of research on your olive oil because God knows what you could be getting out there. But this one is straight from Tunisia. Could be pretty solid. Because a lot of the olive oils that you're going to get, if you look on the label and it's going to say, these olive oils come from Greece, Tunisia, Italy, Portugal. What are you getting? You have no idea. It's just like ground beef. This ground beef could be coming from Australia, San Salvador, I don't know, someplace, and a little bit from America too. You're dealing with thousands of cows in one little, that's kind of scary. So, hope I didn't mess up your burger time. But if you can find a local purveyor of ground beef, then I would recommend you do that. Anyway, this is not a ground beef show. This is a quinoa salad show. Here we are. We have our quinoa salad. We have mixed it up nicely. Let's give it a little taste. Oh, that tastes like a springtime day. You know what? Yeah, I want more lemon juice. I really want that pop of lemon. A little more lemon juice. Yes. Lemon juice. And a little more salt. A little more olive oil. So this is very Mediterranean, the way I'm doing it today. And like I said, you could take it to more Moroccan. You could add ras al hanout. You can add some sumac. You can add curry. Make it a curried salad. You can do all kinds of stuff. You can go anywhere you want. It really just comes down to the spices you use. I'm thinking about doing a show just on spice combinations. That would be fun. All right, we have our quinoa salad. I'm going to dump a little bit out in a bowl so we can have presentation. There we go. Now, if you're serving it like in one bowl to somebody, give it one last little whoop, a little hit up top, a little hit, and then garnish a little green onion on top. There we go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have quinoa salad. Yes, fantastic. I love it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is a quinoa salad, Peruvian fantastic super quinoa. And all the veggies make it a wonderful dish. Super fast. How long did this take? I don't even know how long this video is. Didn't take that long. Now you got it all set up. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. Everybody's going to love it and love you. And it's all about that, right? You want to be loved, don't you? That's not really what this show is about. This show is chow time. Let's eat.